Everything grows, is destined to change. I love you, little niggas. I'm glad that you came. I hope you scrape every dollar you can. I hope you know money won't erase the pain. J. Cole, middle child. There's so much hatred in the world. It's not even right. Isn't it crazy that we have never reached a point as a society where we're like, enough is enough? This is not the world that we believe in. There's too many things that are wrong, and we want to change these things. We've never reached a point where we try to fix our society. Ever. We act as if things are okay, even if they're not. They're not even close to okay. What we must understand is that everything is connected. If there's something wrong with the world, if there's no balance in the world, then we're gonna see the consequences of that. The consequences of things that are wrong in our society are gonna affect all of us as a collective. They're not just gonna affect the individuals that are going to be responsible at showing us what's wrong in our society. Let me give you an example. If school kids bully one student, let's just say one student is being bullied in a classroom, and then that student one day decides to become a school shooter, that affects everyone. And people are gonna act like victims. They're gonna be like, oh, that kid is a monster. Look at what that kid has done. They're gonna blame the parents of that kid without looking at the root cause. You see, something was wrong, and that thing that was wrong was not fixed. And then we saw the consequences of not fixing that one thing that was wrong. It has affected everyone, you see. Because no one should be bullied for who they are. No one should be bullied for how they look. No one should be bullied for being gay. No one should be bullied for liking things that other people do not like. It's not right. It's not alright. It's not right. Right? Because it's crazy that we expect people to just take it. No one has to take it. We just have to balance our society. We just have to know that we are all responsible. Human beings are extremely social. That's why people can't really be by themselves. It's not that easy. So everything is connected. People have to know that whatever they do causes a ripple effect. So it's good to always make conscious choices. But we haven't been taught how to do that. It's not what we're being taught to do. We're being taught to compete. And with the way things are today, competing is not even what we must be doing. Things are not fair for people to be competing. Some people are born in very, very rich families. Some people are born in very, very poor families. And we must really acknowledge the fact that no matter how we look at it, if you are born in a rich family, you have more opportunities than a person who's born in a poor family. So there is inequality. By default, there is inequality. It's like competing in a 100-meter race while you are 20 meters behind. How are you going to win? Because human beings are always competing. That's what the whole thing is about. We are here to compete. That is a fact. We want to act like we're not here to compete. I don't know why people act like this is not competition. We're all competing. But if some people are already ahead, and you gotta compete with these people. How is that fair? It's obviously not fair, and we are refusing to look at these kind of things. And people are still bringing kids here even when they know that they are really, really poor. They don't understand that that is torture. They don't understand that their kids are gonna be jealous. They don't understand that their kids are going to suffer because of that by default. All right. Think of it this way. Let's just say you are, as a woman, you are married to a man who married 6 wives, and he has maybe 2 wives that he's treating very, very good, and he's not treating you and three of you, and all, like he's only treating 2 wives better, and the other 4, including you, are not being treated right. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel jealous. You're going to feel a lot of hatred because you are hurt, and that's how you're supposed to feel as a human. It's not your fault that you feel that way. You know, you don't feel that way because there's something wrong with you. You feel that way because that's exactly how you must feel. You see, you are here to survive, so you must feel that way so that you will do something about it. You see, that's the crazy part. You're not feeling the pain that you feel so that you just feel it, right? It's just there to show you that something is wrong and you must do something about it. That's human nature. That is why you find people killing one another. It's because of that. There's so much hatred in the world because the system is not balanced. And it causes people to feel so much hatred. It causes people to feel so much envy. It causes people to feel jealous, you know? Like, how else should they feel? How else should they feel? That is why I don't blame people for doing fucked up things. Charles Manson once said, these people are your reflection. These people are your mistakes as a collective society. He was being interviewed by some dude that said, you know, the people who are in jail should be condemned. You know, they should be in death. They should be in death row or a condemned row if there is such a row. And Charles said, no, man, these people are your reflection. They are your mistakes as a collective society. And he said, even if they rebelled against that society, and he said, well, they weren't born rebelling. They weren't born with the kind of anger that they have. They weren't born with the hatred that they have. It's society's fault, and that's the truth. People ain't just bad, all right? It's because we live in a fucked up society and we refuse to look at certain realities. You know, we just act like everything is okay. It's not okay, man. If you're poor, don't be bringing anyone here. I'm not even talking to you as an internationalist here. I'm just talking to you as a human. If you're poor and you know you can't really provide for your children, don't be bringing them here because there's nothing you can do for them. They're going to end up stealing. And they wouldn't be wrong to do that because we're here to survive at the end of the day. Every person is here to survive and they owe themselves that. Understand? That's how you're programmed as a human. If you're not trying to survive, then you're doing something wrong. You're supposed to try to find ways to survive. That's what the whole thing is about. There's no morality here. There's no right or wrong here. It's not like the system is fair. You understand? It's not like the system is right. It's not like the system is perfect. So that's why people are trying to survive. So you can't blame anyone for stealing, bro. You can't blame anyone for robbing anyone. That's why people like myself are forced to be spiritual. You know, we are forced to raise our vibrations because we understand that, no, man, the world is too fucked up. If we're gonna operate on an ego level, then a lot of things can go wrong. You see. So we have to be spiritual. We have to raise our vibrations. We have to look at things from a higher perspective. And that's not right. It's not even right to try to be spiritual while you are here. You know, it's not right. You're supposed to operate at an ego level, because that's what the whole thing is about. That's where the fun is. But the world is so fucking unbalanced that operating at an ego level is just gonna cause a lot of suffering, right? You're not gonna cause a lot of suffering for you. You're also gonna cause a lot of suffering for everyone. If you're really gonna truly embrace who you are, if you truly gonna embrace all the hurt that you've been through, you're not gonna do things that are gonna uh, take us somewhere as a society. In fact, you're gonna do things that are gonna hurt society. You're gonna do things that are gonna hurt yourself and other people by default, because you are hurt. A lot of people are hurt. A lot of people are in pain. So people are forced to just give up being human. You know, they are forced to look for higher truth, because reality sucks. They've realized that the reality of this world sucks so hard that they can't really like live in this reality. They have to ascend. You know, it's crazy, man. The world is not balanced. If we really cared about changing our society, we really need to sit down as a collective and say, no, man, enough is enough. Something is wrong and we need to fix it. Because if we don't fix this shit, the future generation is going to suffer because of us. Because we're too selfish to realize that something is wrong, right? I'm speaking to you as a human. I'm not speaking to you as an internationalist. You know, as an internationalist, I believe that we're not going to be able to do that, because we've never done that at any point in history. You see, there's so much suffering in the world and there's no solution, because people are not going to do what I'm saying now. And that's the only ways for us to truly recognize the problems that exist in our society. You know, it's not normal for more than 50% of the youth to be unemployed. What should they be doing? And they are making more babies as well. What kind of world do you think that their children are going to be born in? What kind of world do you think that children are going to be born into? If they're unemployed, they don't have money. And what do you think they're going to do to take care of their children? You see, it's not a balanced society. We're not having these conversations. We're not trying to fix it. We're not trying to fix our problems. We're just acting like these problems do not exist, while these problems really, really do exist. It's not normal for someone to be born and before they reach the age of 10, they have $10 million. It's not normal. Well, some kids don't even, some kids are, 18, 19, they don't even have any amount of money to their name. It's not fair. It's not normal, And they have to compete with these kids who are born in rich families. They have to compete with them, because we are here to compete. That's the crazy part. This is not the world we had in mind. A lot of things are really wrong with this world, and we're not gonna go anywhere. We're not gonna become happy as a collective. There's just gonna be more and more sad people. Like the next generation that's gonna be here is gonna be the saddest. This is the school that I've attended, by the way. Mbanyele High School. Man, I used to be messed up. I was a messed up kid, man. But we had fun, man. We had fun. I always knew that I was different, man. The way that I perceived the world was so different from how everyone perceived the world. But look at this school, though. It's really, there isn't even like they don't even have a science lab. Even now, they don't even have a science lab. We didn't have much, dude. We didn't have much. We didn't even have enough classes. We didn't even have enough teachers. It's crazy, bro. So we used to walk from here to that village. That's my village. And it was very unsafe at the time because the road, now at least they've kind of uh, cleaned up the road a little. Back then it was crazy, man. And there used to be this naked guy that used to scare everyone. He would just appear out of nowhere naked and start dancing. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, it is what it is, man. It's just not the world we had in mind. And yeah, man, I think the only solution really is to stop having children, because people are not willing to really face the truth. They're not really willing to acknowledge the fact that things ain't getting better unless they, decide to stop and say, we don't agree with how things are happening in this world as a collective. If everyone stopped right now, if everyone stopped what they're doing right now and say, no, fuck all this shit, what can we do to make things better for our children? What should we do to make things better for our future children? What things can we do to make things better for the future generation? Because we fucked up the world. One of my favorite South Park scenes was when Catman said, yo, children are being born in a world that's broken and sick. We ain't the ones that mess this planet up, but we're the ones who will pay the price. And that's what's happening. Thank you all, guys.